So UFC Fight Nights this weekend, Lewis versus Teixeira, and I'm going to break down the whole card starting right now. Klein versus Melissa Martinez. I'm going to go with Klein on this one. I was going to go Martinez because she's the cleaner striker of the two, but like, I don't really know how her grappling is, and like the last time we saw her was like, I think 2024, and then the last time before was like 2023, 2022. Like, it was like a dumb long ago, so like, it's kind of hard for me to pick somebody that's like very inconsistent in their career, and we haven't really seen her much, and I haven't really seen her against a grappler like Klein. Klein can grapple. She's actually pretty decent. She has decent like grappling in my opinion. Like, she trains with Erin Blanchfield, who is actually a good grappler. So I'm just gonna go off of that. And plus, Martinez is like 5'2", and Klein is a grown woman. So I'm gonna go with Klein winning a 2-1 decision. I think she's gonna have struggle early, but then she starts to get the takedown the later half of the round and round one, and then start doing her thing basically. That's how I think the fight's gonna go. That's pretty much it. Now moving on. Mitch Ramirez versus Mike Davis. I'm gonna go with Mike Davis on this one. I just think he's the way better fighter of the two. Ramirez was getting out grappled by Thiago Moises and dominated. I haven't seen that in a while from Thiago Moises, so that's a bad look in my opinion. Plus, I think Mike Davis is about Thiago Moises level and maybe a little bit higher. I just think he's a way better fighter. There's literally nothing Ramirez is better than Mike Davis at. Like, honestly, like, there's nothing he really does that special. He's not really a good grappler. The striking is about even in my opinion. I think Mike Davis has more pop, so that gives him more of the edge. Plus, he has the takedown threat, which gives Mike Davis more of a chance to finish Ramirez, and I think he will. I think Mike Davis is going to take down Ramirez very easily, ground and pound him, get a submission maybe, and that's pretty much my prediction. I think he will finish him in the first round, either by sub or ground and pound. That's pretty much it. Now moving on to the next one. Kennedy Nzechukwu versus Vulture Walker. I'm going to go with Kennedy on this one. I was going to go Vulture Walker, then I realized, who has he really beat other than like a couple of cans of things? Like, he beat Mays, but like, is Mays really that crazy? And he subbed Tafa. So like, he's beating people that like are trash. So it's kind of hard for me to say, oh, he's going to beat Kennedy when Kennedy is actually athletic and not just a blob who went up to heavyweight just to eat. So I'm going to go with Kennedy to win this one. I think he's the cleaner striker of the two, so I think he's going to win it by points and maybe knock him out in the first round. I'm going knockout, actually. He's going to knock out Vulture Walker. Vulture Walker is going to try to take him down. He's not going to get the takedown. Going to try to go for a leg lock, and then Kennedy's going to stand him up, finish him on the feet, and that's how the fight's going to go. He's going to finish him in the second round, maybe the first in the later half. I'm not really sure, though. You know what? I'm going to go with it. I'm going to go Kennedy finishing Vulture Walker in the later half of the first round, so that's my prediction. Now, moving on. Lauren Murphy versus Mora. I'm going to go with Mora on this one. Why exactly? I'm not going to pick an old lady to win a fight ever. I'm never doing it. Like, unless you're like completely way better than your opponent, I'm not doing it. Plus, Mora is actually pretty decent. She's kind of good on the feet, going from her last performance against Hardy. Like, she somewhat knows how to strike, so I'm going to go with that. Plus, she has some pop in her hand, so, and Murphy's old. She's literally pushing. She is 40. I'm never going to pick a 40-year-old to win a fight, especially you've been gone for like 2 years. So I think this is a very obvious pick. I don't know how people are going to pick Murphy. Maybe she's going to pull like a crafty vet on performance, but I very highly doubt it. So I'm going to go with Mora winning this fight very easily. I think she's going to finish Murphy in the second round by like a TKO, like Murphy giving up against the cage and just covering up and just getting finished. That's how I think the fight's going to go. Mora doesn't even have that bad of losses going from her record. She only lost to a dude, so it's very fair that she will beat Murphy. Jake Matthews versus Chidi Chukwani. I think I'm going to go with Jake Matthews. I'm not going to lie, I'm not confident in this pick, and I wouldn't recommend to pick Jake Matthews. It's just I've seen some of his fights, and I've seen Chidi's fights. Chidi is a really good fighter. It's just like I could so see Jake Matthews like catching him. Like, I know Jake Matthews is going to have struggle with the range of Chukwani, but still, I can't get that picture out of my head. After I seen Chukwani's last fight, like him getting caught and like getting hurt for a moment, it made me go like, I think Jake Matthews is going to chin him. I know Jake Matthews doesn't really have the most pop, but I just go so see it and I can't get it out of my head. Again, it's probably not the best pick. Chukwani is probably the better pick here because he's long rangey. You could give Jake Matthews struggle. It just I could see him getting chin. Plus he's 6'3", and most of the time when they're like 6'3", they always have struggle with something. It's either they can't grapple or they have no chin. So I'm gonna go with Jake Matthews chinning Chukwani in the second round. He's gonna have struggle early with the range, but then Jake Matthews is gonna get his timing and just like knock him out. I think. I don't know. I don't even really. It just. I'm gonna go with it. It's gonna be a risky pick, but I'm going with it. Jake Matthews KOing Chiquani in the second round. Anyways, moving on, Max Griffin versus Chris Curtis. I'm gonna go with Chris Curtis on this one. Why exactly? I just think he's the way better fighter of the two. He has better boxing. I don't think the grappling is that different between them. Maybe like Max Griffin could get sub, but like he'll never sub Chris Curtis in my opinion. I know it's Chris Curtis like coming down to welterweight, so that is kind of concerning, but Max Griffin isn't really that crazy. Like he doesn't really move on the back foot very well. He doesn't really have lateral movements where like I'm gonna go, okay, he could like school Chris Curtis here, because Chris Curtis has real struggle if he can move on the back foot, and Max Griffin doesn't really do that very well. I don't think he does it that bad, but it's just like that's not his style. So like I don't really have to worry about Chris Curtis here when it comes to that. Plus the ground game I think is not that crazy with Max Griffin. I don't think he's gonna take down Chris Curtis at all, so that negates the grappling as well to me. The striking, Chris Curtis is the better boxer of the two. Maybe like Max Griffin has like a better leg kick maybe, but that's pretty much it. So I'm gonna go with Chris Curtis knocking out Max Griffin. Honestly, like Max Griffin's best win is like a washed Condit, so I'm not gonna pick him. Plus, he also got finished by Chiesa not too long ago. So I'm going to go Chris Curtis finishing Max Griffin in the second round. Maybe a think I'm going to go a finish here. I think he's good enough to finish Max Griffin here. So that's pretty much it. Now moving on. Junior Tafa versus Taco. I'm going to go with Taco. Why exactly? Because Junior Tafa looked trash at heavyweight. And if you're looking trash at heavyweight, that kind of shows your level, that you're not going to do well at light heavyweight, little bro. Like, I know he's in shape now, but like he looks so trash in the fight he had 2 fights ago. And also in his last fight, he got leg locked. Most light heavyweights know how to defend a leg lock. I'm sorry. I know it's Walter Walker and he's a really good grappler, but still, like, I don't know. I don't see him doing well. Then again, I don't know if Taco is that good because I haven't really seen much tape of him. And I don't even think he has won a fight in the UFC. So maybe Tafa could get it done, but I think I'm going to go with Taco on this. I think he's going to win a dominant decision or like finishing Tafa when like he's tired in the second round. I could also see that. So yeah, I think that's going to be my prediction here. I think I'm going to go with Tafa losing a dominant decision. Maybe a finish in there, but I'm not sure. So take your bets there. Anyways, now moving on. Vitor Petrino versus Lane. I'm going to go with Vitor Petrino on this one. I know he got flatlined by Dustin Jacoby, and that's a bad look, but like Lane is getting flatlined by anybody except for that one Cuban guy I forgot the name of. It's kind of crazy he couldn't finish Lane, but I don't know. If the Tafa brothers can, I think Vitor Petrino can. So I'm going to go Vitor Petrino finishing Austin Lane in the first round. Lane is going to look, I don't know though, because I can so see Lane randomly winning because I do think Petrino is trash, but like Lane isn't that bad. So I'm going to, no. I'm going to stick with my pick. I'm going to go Petrino KOing Austin Lane in the first 2 rounds. Now moving on. Nate Landwehr versus Morgan. I think I'm going to go with Morgan on this one. I think Nate Landwehr is washed and not as good as he used to be. Then again, he wasn't that great. He was just very fun. And I hope Nate Landwehr wins this fight because I want Nate the Train to win, baby. Nate the Train, the UFC. I love Nate the Train. Oh, man, I really hope he wins, but I don't think he does. I think Morgan's going to win a 2-1 decision. I think Nate will survive and then like try to break him in the last round, but like it'll be too late type thing. So yeah, I'm going with Morgan by decision. Nate the Train started making a comeback, but it'll be too late for the Train. So now moving on. Calvin Kattar versus Steve Garcia. I'm going to go with Calvin Kattar on this. It's a little bit of a biased pick because Steve Garcia is on like a win streak and like KOing people and getting finishes back to back to back. But like, I can't pick over Kattar. Like, especially like if I know he can win, like if he has that chance, I'm going to pick Kattar, bro. I've been watching a lot of Kattar fights back and I really, man, he's so cold. It's so weird that Holloway dominated him because it makes no sense how. I know how, but like it just didn't make sense to me. Then again, he got dominated by Moicano as well, but it was because of the leg kicks. He kind of just got outboxed by Holloway. I don't know, but I'm still going with Kattar. I think he's the best guy Steve Garcia has fought so far, so I'm going to go with Kattar winning a decision, just being experienced and having a good jab, having just good boxing in general. So I just think he's going to give Steve Garcia a lot of struggle, and he's going to win a decision here. Anyway, moving on to the co-main event, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Gabriel Bonfirm. I'm going to go with Bonfirm on this one. I know Wonderboy is really good, but I don't know how he's going to look now, especially at 42 years old, coming off a KO. Like, I get it. Like, if it was a prime Wonderboy, I probably would pick him, but like, Bonfirm is also really good as well. It wasn't just like, oh, Wonderboy is old. Bonfirm is good. Like, after watching his Chaos fight, like, bro is really good at, like, taking people down. Not that bad on the feet either. Like, I think he will sub Wonderboy in this fight. Like, I think Bonfern could time Wonderboy when Wonderboy is going for his blitz and get his back and just take him down and sub him in like the first or 2 rounds. I think Wonderboy is going to look good early, but I think Bonfern will sub him at the end. Now, moving on to the main event, Derek Lewis versus Teixeira. I'm going to go with Teixeira on this. I know it's a little risky of a pick because Teixeira isn't really that proven. He'd be a Tafa brother, and that was pretty much it. But like, I just think Derek Lewis would go to war with a Tafa brother. So I'm gonna go with Teixeira just off of that. And especially with Derek Lewis is a little on the heavier side. He is kind of a blob, but he does have some not blob wins. So it's kind of hard to pick against him sometimes. But like, I think you can with this because Teixeira is athletic, he's not a blob, he somewhat knows how to strike, and I just think he will beat Derek Lewis this weekend. So that's my prediction. I hope you liked it. I know it's not really that in-depth, but it's kind of hard to go in-depth when it's like it's just 2 power punchers and who just lands first is gonna win. I just think Teixeira is just slightly better technique-wise, maybe not power-wise, but like I just think he just finished Derek Lewis. So that's my prediction. I hope you liked it. That's the whole card, and yeah, thank you for watching, and that's it. Wait, I forgot to say what round. Derek Lewis will get finished in the first round, in my opinion, maybe the second if he's lucky. Thank you for watching. That's pretty much it. My bad.